It's the Weekly Wrap with your host, broadcasting legend Bruce Wolf, and his trusty sidekick, comedian Tim Slagle. And now, without further ado, Bruce Wolf.
Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the Weekly Wrap. And now it's time for my favorite part of the show, where, and I guess what's in Tim's background. Well, it's an easy one because they've got the summit going on. And I got to think that you caught a photograph of Trump and Xi just having finished their Kung Pao chicken. And it's been 30 minutes. They're hungry again. So they're going to want Taiwan served on a platter. I don't know. What's going on, Tim?
Well, no, the second pick was Trump's. So there you go.
For those of you who can't see, there is McDonald's. Behind in front of, what are they called in China? They're not called pagodas, right?
Are they?
It's a palace.
I don't know. I don't know what they call them. A lot of things that we think are Chinese are not really Chinese. Like really? that thing.
That's rice-a-roni, right? San Francisco treat.
It actually goes all the way back to a play, like in the
Mikado,
18th century, right. 17th century or 19th century play where they it was like a little ditty that they played.
Well, it's the Americanization of everything, and that's why it's apropos that you have McDonald's back there. I was expecting a tank to come and mow from Tiananmen Square and mow down that pair of golden arches there.
I have a friend that produced comedy shows in China, and that's one thing that they're strictly said that the comics cannot joke about.
Never can have. Yeah. Comic can't just lie down on the stage and say, "Okay, come and get me." You can't joke. I'm surprised you could joke about anything there. I mean, can you make the one baby policy jokes? What you can't do anything, right?
Well, they from what I understand now is that you have to submit a transcript of your material that has to be approved before you're allowed to perform.
Oh, wonderful. That's great. That's terrific.
I think they're doing that in Canada now too, actually.
So there's so many cross currents of thought regarding China. And I can't be an expert on everything. I mean, I'm an expert on uniform numbers of White Sox and Blackhawk players in the 1960s. But once you get beyond that, it's a little difficult. So I'm not an instant expert on China. But from what I could tell so far, having had it in the background yesterday when I was at my daughter's house, it seems like everything was cordial. I saw a statement issued after the first day, and I skimmed to the bottom line where apparently China agreed that Iran cannot have nukes. Be kind of helpful if they weren't supplying military hardware to help the IRGC stay in power. I'm not really sure I understand all that.
Well, they're sending them all the parts. They're just not sending the Allen wrenches and instructions.
So,
like a bad IKEA purchase.
Right. It's you never know. I mean, these things are so complicated. I mean, in theory, I'm against tariffs, but I mean, when it's your sworn enemy who's stealing your intellectual property, and
there's two schools of thought of that. Elon does not patent any of his inventions. None of his inventions are. He thinks it's too much trouble to bother with patents, and he figures if somebody steals something, is that maybe they can make it better.
Is that a true story? Elon Musk is not.
I heard him say that. He doesn't bother. It's just a waste of time and expense to actually apply for patents.
So, I mean, if we see the Acme rocket go up tomorrow, it's Wile E. Coyote says, "Hey, it was in the public domain. I didn't have to."
Do you know that he puts up satellites or just freight he sends to space for 5% of the cost NASA does it for?
Well, like, where's he delivering it to? Uranus? Excuse me. Where's he delivering the freight to?
Well, yeah, he went up to the space station. He brought some stuff, and I think he took some. Didn't he take some astronauts home that the NASA couldn't get, and Russia wouldn't? Wasn't there something like that? He's got all those Starlink satellites or orbiting the Earth, and it's actually for military hardware. They use SpaceX now because it's 5% the cost of what NASA did for it. So,
wow.
If NASA can do better than SpaceX, you try.
Yeah.
Go ahead and try.
Won't be able to be done. So, I mean, you're an expert on China, obviously. I mean, because you have a friend who puts comedians up in Beijing.
Sure.
What do you think is going to happen here?
I think I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I was actually it's funny. I was actually just talking to him. He told me that he heard that they had a secret meeting, that it was just Trump, Xi, and his daughter. And that was the only person that Trump would allow. He wouldn't allow any of his staff in there.
And then they peed on him. Is that what happened? They got a tape of him being peed on.
No, actually,
Hillary's ears perk up.
His speculation is that that Trump wants an exit from Iran, and that she is going to negotiate that exit for him in return for dropping the tariffs. That was his speculation. He follows Chinese news, so
quid pro quo. Okay, is it okay if I did it in that accent? I'm not sure.
I don't know if you could say quid pro quo without sounding like
for
an
me
accent.
To say. But well, sure. I mean, it sounds way too simple to me. But yeah, it makes some sense. Well, switching over to the war, which
real quick, Bruce, no comment on the reception that Trump received when he landed.
You know, I missed it. What happened?
You missed the kids dancing and the flags waving, the people waving the American flags, all these.
Well, of course they were dancing, Chris. It was a day out of the Apple factory.
That's what I know. It was like 400 kids, and as Steve Bannon referred to them, Harvard's class of 2040.
Well, especially if Trump is allowing all these Chinese students in, you know. So with one hand we take away, with the other hand we give, because remember, he all of a sudden decided to allow this influx of Chinese students,
which also means, Chris, that it's going to be the winners of California mayoral races in 2045.
Right. All right. So quickly to the war. There was this New York Times report the other day, which actually wasn't all that earth-shattering. And I'm not talking about the op-ed by Christoph about the Israeli soldiers using dogs to rape the Palestinian prisoners. We'll get to that in a little bit. But there was that report that said that, we didn't really accomplish anything by dropping bombs for 40 days. And well, the problem with that is that, if you read between the lines or just read a little deeper into the reports, well, a lot of their stuff is under rubble. If they want to try to get it, since they don't have an air force and the Israelis and we can monitor this stuff, it's going to be pretty difficult. I got a feeling they were actually set back here, the Iranians, and then you get reports like this.
I think the production is set back, but it was there. I mean, we have not found it. We don't know what they did with it. We don't know where it is. It could be anywhere. It could be on a container ship on the way to America already.
With a bunch of 15-year-old hookers or something? Is that what we're talking about? Matt Gaetz.
No, I mean, it doesn't have to be a thermodynamic explosion for nuclear material to be deadly. That you can just get some fireworks from crazy Kaplans and pack it full of uranium dust, and
Sure.
you can do a lot of damage
Hey,
with that.
speaking of fireworks, did you know in the 2008 Beijing Olympics, the fireworks, a beautiful pyrotechnical display, they were fake. It was like CGI. It's fake
Wow.
fireworks. I
Wow.
remember at the time thinking, because I think Chicago had not lost out yet on the 2016 Olympics, which wound up going to Rio. But the suggestion, I think, was made by Mayor Daley at one point, who was reluctant to enter Chicago into all this. Why don't they just have the Olympics in the same place all the time? And my feeling was, if they're going to have fake fireworks at the Beijing opening ceremonies, why couldn't they just have a backdrop of the great city of Chicago? With the Sears Tower, Hancock. We'll just pretend we're there. This was way before AI. Now it'd really be easy to do.
Sure, you could
easy. So
you could photograph the Olympics in front of a green screen.
Totally. In front of a what? Did you say? I'd like to stay on the air, man. Is that your quid pro quo?
Yeah,
for what I said a little bit earlier.
I figured we were getting near the end of the segment. I figured I'd just tag back.
All right, get me a bacon double cheeseburger and some Kung Pao chicken. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap. Okay, let's get away from things that are a little bit beyond our area of expertise. The summit in China,
which is most everything, I think.
The war in the Middle East. But here's something that we really are expert on, and of course, it's our Civil War roundtable discussion, the 2020 election. There was a report. You sent this link, and you don't normally send links. Washington Times story.
Well, anytime I can get Tom Owens off the to stop listening to the show, I take advantage of it. So when I saw this story in the Washington Times, White House official promises bombshell 2020 election evidence is on the way.
Yeah, Monica Crowley, who she was on TV, as I recall.
Yeah.
So do we have any indication what this evidence is? Because I haven't heard anything about it since.
Well, I mean, they've been picking up ballots and stuff from for different and it only took 40,000. He only lost by 40,000 because of the Electoral College.
Right.
So, and it was just several counties, Milwaukee, Detroit, what are the other ones? Fulton County.
Yeah.
And Maricopa County in Arizona. I mean, that's you get 10,000 ballots in each of those. He won. So
and if you have some bread, we could have a ham sandwich if we had some ham as well.
So they've been seizing ballots. The Department of Justice has been going around seizing ballots and voting records, and they've been going over them. And other people have been doing it too. There was a guy in Michigan actually that did a FOIA request and demanded the ballots. So I don't know what was left for the Department of Justice, but he's got a team going through them, and they've been finding dead people voting. They've been finding ballots that were counted without the matching envelope. I mean, they've been finding a lot of stuff. But according to Monica Crowley, they're going to find that he won in a landslide, which I would not be so bold as to make that prediction.
So I guess it'll be interesting when the Supreme Court, with Justice Jackson dissenting, when the Supreme Court finally decides that Donald Trump is, as reparations, is awarded a third term.
Yeah, I don't see that. I'm not.
We
going
can cancel
that.
the 2028 election.
I'm not going that conspiratorial.
Oh,
because
gee.
because
All right.
well, no, I mean Trump lost. I mean, there's no question about it. The legislatures chickened out,
Right.
basically. They did not want. They had, there was Antifa people in every major city in America with Molotov cocktails filled, and they didn't want a winter of riots. So all the legislatures went, oh yeah, he definitely lost. Yeah, Biden
All right.
definitely
Well,
won.
speaking of conspiracies, and you're not the only one who believes there are Democrats who believe in conspiracies too. Um, 42% of Democrats think that the Butler assassination attempt was staged.
Yeah.
I just Now
Yeah.
here's the thing. I can understand that. Reason being, if somebody shot at me, I duck to the ground, to the stage, and I'd still be there. I wouldn't have gotten up, much less defiantly shouted, "Oh yeah, we're coming back for 2 more assassination attempts."
Yeah. And then
No, I
while he
wouldn't
was
have
down,
done that.
yeah, while he was down, he poked his ear with a pin, I guess, so there'd be blood
Something.
all. Did that old wrestling move?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where you
No.
take a
Right.
take a razor blade and you drag it across your forehead so that when you wipe your
Yeah.
forehead, it bleeds.
Tim, real quick, can we take a little bit of be mad at Bruce in some way, at least, for trying to call this a same level conspiracy as the obviously rigged 2020 election?
Right. Oh my goodness. Oh my
But
goodness.
no, because that's if he didn't, that's how I was going to segue into the other story, was saying it's not just us. Yeah, I believe this conspiracy, but the Democrats have no grounds to call us conspiratorial. Tom Owens has no right to say you people are just conspiracy nuts, because I
Right.
want I want to hear Tom Owens. He's probably already left the show. I want to hear his opinion on whether or not the assassination was staged, and
I'm
especially
sure
the
he does not believe.
correspondence dinner. There, I was on Facebook, and it wasn't more than a couple hours after the correspondence dinner, they were already saying, "Oh, what a coincidence that he wanted his own ballroom, huh?"
Make now I'm putting the clues together there. I never really thought of it that way.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
that's
I
it. They
was
were all over
worried.
that.
Wait, he hadn't given a speech. He hadn't given a speech yet, right? Right. I'm thinking,
When what? In
but
the correspondence
when the
dinner?
assassination attempt
Butler? No, he was
happened.
speaking.
No. At the White House Correspondents' Dinner,
Oh yeah, yeah.
he had not given the speech, right?
Oh, I wanted to hear that speech
Well,
too.
here's the thing. I don't think he actually had a speech prepared. I think he wanted to fire his joke writers, like Alan Brady, and said, "What am I going to do?" You know how you when you have your nightmare and you haven't been prepared for the final exam and all that, and he just this actually happened. We got to create some kind of diversion. These jokes are rotten, and so that I could see that happen.
Couldn't you just said, "Hey Marco, go do me a favor, go pull the fire alarm."
Right.
I don't have a speech. That would be a lot easier.
Who was the guy who pulled the? He was in Congress for a while. I don't think he. I think he's
He
out of
didn't
politics
get
now.
reelected. Yeah, he was a
Yeah,
school
in
teacher that pulled the fire
New
alarm
York,
to.
I think they pulled the fire alarm in D.C. Um, so moving right along here, there's this controversy. Are you planning on seeing the movie The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan uh, epic? You planning on seeing?
I did not know about it, but now that you have told me about it, it has piqued my interest because I'm a Christopher Nolan fan. I like his
Okay, well,
stuff.
I'm kind of an Odyssey fan because I had to read it sophomore year in high school.
Did you
And
read it or did you get the Cliff Notes?
well, I mean, I read what was it, the Fitzgerald version. I did not read it in the original Greek. I admit that. Um, but yeah, we had to read the Iliad and the Odyssey in
Hmm.
honors English.
Wow.
Uh, so
I did not take
now
honors
the
English.
big, it was tough. Let me tell you,
Yeah,
it
I
was pretty
imagine.
tough.
It's
It
it
cured
really
me
was
of well,
unfair.
let
It
me
was okay, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Yeah.
It was unfair at our high school because they had like for the auto shop students and the machine shop students. They had like an English track that was a lot more fun. They got to do filmmaking and
Right.
stuff and,
Sure.
study movies and I couldn't get interested in honors English.
Yeah,
I
honors
like
English was, reading these books, and it cured me of any interest I had in literature.
wow.
No, it was tough. I've always felt, inferior because of that. Though I have tried, but
I saw the Coen Brothers version of the Odyssey.
yeah, right. Oh, brother, where art thou? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the
So,
closest. I think that's the closest I got. And then there was Homer sold a Honda Odyssey once. Or bought a Honda Odyssey. So that was also
oh,
another version.
so the controversy is that they don't have the ethnicity right. Well, for one thing, Brad Pitt, who had played Achilles in Troy, apparently, he's the model for this. And now, if I'm not mistaken, are they having the former Ellen Page, who's now a man,
Elliot,
Achilles?
Elliot, you are not allowed to dead name.
I said the former. I'm surprised I got that much right. Okay, I got up to the dead naming. But anyway, he looks like he's all Achilles heel. I mean, there's no it's just like, oh, hey, Paris, you don't have to shoot for the heel. You just knock him over with a feather. Yeah, but whatever. There's that. Helen of Troy is a black woman, and I think she's okay, attractive. I don't mind that she's black. Is that the former Ellen Page?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
that is Elliot Page.
okay. So
Who actually said there was a quote by him that a lot of people are hurting his feelings about his transition, and somebody commented, "You're still a woman," because guys don't talk like that. Sorry.
I don't think Achilles did, but that's fine. As far as the black women play, Helen of Troy had the face that launched 1,000 ships.
Sure.
As far as I'm concerned, could be black or white. It doesn't matter. This woman doesn't look like she could, huh?
She could launch about 525.
I was thinking, maybe a dinghy.
Now, if I was casting, if Chris and I were casting Helen of Troy, I think there's probably two at the top.
We know who it would be. Well, as a matter of fact, it would be somebody whose next job is going to be an OnlyFans, I think. But look, I don't mind. It's fine with me that you have different. Yes, Sydney Sweeney's picture has arrived here midway through or at the end of the second segment, a little bit earlier than usual. Why don't they have, and the Homeric poem, I think they used to sing it to each other. It wasn't just read dialogue, in this lore that was handed down from generation to generation. And if you're singing,
because you know why? You know why? Is because poetry is easy to remember. That's why.
Yeah, all right. So they were.
That's why we sing. That's why we sing the alphabet rather than say it.
Right. Why not bring on Lin-Manuel Miranda? Delay the project a little bit. Have him write some rap songs. It worked for Hamilton. And you could have all different colors of people.
Sure. They've already Hamilton cast the Odyssey, so why not? Huh?
There we go. Glad we solved that one. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the Weekly Wrap. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the Weekly Wrap, and great picture. Jane Fonda in a formal outfit. She's just absolutely shimmering. I think they pumped her with leftover embalming fluid from Ted Turner. What do you think there, Tim? I mean, this was opening night red carpet.
It looks like somebody put her head on a mannequin.
Mm-hmm. Which I mean is great. She's great.
It also looks like she's having a hard time breathing.
Yeah, it's a little tight, very tight there. So AOC, a fount of wisdom, uh, went on the record as saying that billionaires basically steal everything. I mean, you can't really make $1 billion legit. She
Well,
says they quote
she
earn
couldn't.
unquote their wealth. I'm sorry.
She couldn't.
No, here's the thing. Somebody was saying that Jeff Bezos, he was 17 years old when his mother divorced his alcoholic father. Well, no, his mother was 17 years old. He was only 2, Bezos, when she divorced his alcoholic father.
His mom was 15 when she had him.
No, she was 17 when she had him.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, the point is now, however, so he had the hard scrabble existence, but they did give him $245K to start Amazon in his garage. Now,
who did his teenage mom or his alcoholic father?
Well, they weren't that young anymore. But they was the mom and dad. They were divorced.
They were divorced, and
they
managed to scrape the money together.
You know,
they were able to come, or they said, Dad's going to give me the money, Mom, and then went to Mom, and Mom's going to give me the money. That's what divorced kids do, right? Kids of divorce do, right?
That's how you play. That's how you play the parents. But here's the thing. Give AOC $245K. How long does it take for her to just
go shoe shopping?
She just loses it. I mean, she doesn't know what to do with it. I think, when it comes
she puts it right back into the economy, Bruce. That's what you do.
Sure.
You don't hoard wealth. You put it back into the economy to help the underprivileged.
No, it's the multiplier effect. There's no question about it. She and then Robert Reich, that little guy, he was basically echoing those sentiments. Rich people, billionaires don't really make their own money. Of course, it's all envy, because all these people who are in government, they think that they're the be all and end all. And it's like when Obama said, "You didn't build it." Well, Obama, who was the community act organizer, but was a failed community organizer. He didn't even do that well. So
yeah, here's what I'm wondering: is 9 out of the 10 wealthiest people, I believe, are all Democrats and support these people. So, I mean, how can you do you know that they're kidding, or do you actually take offense when you're a billionaire and these people who you're sending money to says you didn't earn that?
Well, as somebody, more than one person recommended, hey AOC, what do you think of Oprah and Beyonce? Did they earn their $1 billion each?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, of course, entertainment, but I mean Zuckerberg and Ellison and Page and they're all Buffett. They're all hardcore Democrats. Do they take offense, or do they know that these guys have their fingers crossed when they say it?
I think what it comes down to envy, of course, and it comes down to you've got to have a combination of smarts. And there's some luck involved in it, of course. As Branch Rickey said, luck is the residue of design. But you got to have it to make that. I'm not one of those people. I couldn't, create $1 billion worth of wealth. I've got $1 trillion ideas, as you well know, but I don't know how to execute them.
And even if even if you can't earn $1 billion, even if you inherited $1 billion, you have to be pretty smart to just hold on to it.
Absolutely.
To find a place to put it, to ward off all the people that are going to try to take it from you.
Because by the time you get like Marshall Field V, beware the Roman numerals. Marshall Field V. I mean, I felt sorry for that guy. He was like the docent of the Field Museum. Okay, I get it. But of course, a leftist,
Sure.
because they got all that guilt that they have to deal with. Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that someday they make an Ozempic type drug that can make you entrepreneurial. That way, when we all open up our big mouths, we can shove food into it because we got the Ozempic and not spout this AOC nonsense. It'll be the great equalizer. Why couldn't they give you a drug? And they're gonna, you know what? They're gonna have to drug us. They're gonna have to catch up to AI somehow, so that we're useful at all. So they're gonna have to drug us to make us better.
Did you ever see The Matrix?
Is that what happened?
Yeah, they put us all in a vat of goo and pull our electrical energy from us to run the computers. That's what happens in The Matrix, and then it gives you a vision that you're actually living in the world. But no, your body's just in a tub of goo with electrodes connected to you.
That's not dissimilar to that. And I'm embarrassed that I never actually saw The Matrix. I like my kids saw it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, blue pill, red pill, yeah." Even though I didn't know what it was, I hadn't seen it. What's that TV series that was just on where the aliens come in and they make everybody love each other and we're all like one being? And the first season just ended, and there's like 10 people who didn't get infected with that dystopian fantasy.
I know what you're talking about.
Publius or something like
that. Oh
yeah,
Apple. Yeah. It's on Apple. I saw the first episode.
It sounds very.
They gave me the first. They gave me the first episode for free.
Oh, they teased you.
Okay. Yeah, and then they.
It was fun. It was fun. There's nothing original.
Pluribus.
I said Publius. I mean,
Mr. Latin speaking attorney.
Look, I can't be bothered with memorizing these dumb names. I've got these trillion-dollar ideas like Ozempic to make you entrepreneurial. I'll go ahead and do it.
I've got a theory that wealth only lasts 3 generations. The real wealth only lasts 3 generations, and the reason why is generation 1, the guy who earns it, makes enough money to marry a bimbo. And then he has kids who are half bimbo. So the second generation, they're able to kind of hold on to it, but not really.
I love Gregor Mendel. I love when you tell me why we all have blue eyes. I love when you unearth the pea pods. Tell me about it, Gregor Mendel. All right, I appreciate that.
But when you're second generation wealth, you can even get to marry a hotter bimbo. So by the third generation, you only have people are only 1/4 entrepreneurial and 3/4 bimbo. And
that's why I hope, I'm just praying, keeping my fingers crossed, that when we have President Plattner, who's on his way to be getting into the Senate, he will create a eugenics program that will have will mate the real intelligent people to each other. And thanks to cosmetic procedures, really intelligent women will also look as hot as Sydney Sweeney. It's going to work that way. The rest of us will have to be thrown into the dustbin of history, but it's going to be great for the select few. No question about that. Did you see Paul McCartney turn down being roasted on Netflix? And
can you blame him?
Not at all. I mean, what I'm seeing lately, they had Kevin Hart roasted. I couldn't look at it. Shane Gillis apparently got on, and he ripped Chelsea Handler for her abortions, and also, claimed that she was supporting Israel's genocide. I mean, this isn't. I remember when Imus embarrassed Bill Clinton by talking about his affairs at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. That was a bullet. Whatever happened to like Red Buttons just going, he never had a dinner. that was the Dean Martin roast. But if I'm Paul McCartney, no thanks, man.
Yeah, I mean he's a very old man. and he's very wealthy, and and content just to walk his dogs and strum his guitar. Why would he? I don't think actually Netflix has enough money to convince him to do it. Even
Hey, Paul McCartney is a great guy. I interviewed him once. He was joking around with me. So I mean, he's aces. It's probably the biggest guy I've ever interviewed. I mean, who could be bigger? God? I don't know. Certainly not the Pope. Dumb White Sox fan.
And what's Netflix thinking, Paul McCartney, when Ringo is still alive, huh? I bet they could get Ringo.
Oh my, yeah, Ringo would be fine. Anyway, kudos to Paul. Apparently, he won't even take selfies with his fans, which I don't blame him, because he's got 8 billion fans.
Right.
If he'd never stop taking selfies. So I understand that. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap. Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap. So this Nicholas Kristof Nacht, which I wasn't the only one to label him that, does this op-ed in the New York Times that says Israeli soldiers had dogs raping Palestinian prisoners. And, a lot of hue and cry, both hue and cry over this one. And even from animal trainers who say, that's.
Yeah. There's just some things dogs won't do.
Yeah. I mean, some, but not Palestinians. No,
exactly.
No, I got that.
Exactly.
If Sydney Sweeney was in a prison movie, okay, yeah, roof. Yeah, I'm agree with that. That would be a good Triumph the Wonder Dog.
I hear you can find videos of that on the internet. Not Sydney Sweeney, but
a lot of fun. Anyway, I mean, what the proof of the pudding is that, at least as of this writing, that was an op-ed. The New York Times editorial staff has not leaped all over this to corroborate the story, and because it's as if they allowed this to run as an op-ed. It's as if on November the 23rd, 1963, the New York Times headline was on the death of C.S. Lewis the day before. And JFK's assassination had been relegated to the editorial page. Or on July 21st, 1969, the headline blared, "Man fakes landing on moon." I mean, gee whiz. And this guy, this guy's going to have to put up or shut up. And what I was actually interested in was how there was, I wouldn't say it was universal condemnation, but there were a lot of people who said, this is absolutely ridiculous. This is not corroborated, was not sourced well. He's got, known terrorists making this stuff up. And
well, actually, I think when they approached Mossad and asked them about it, they said, "No, we have absolutely not done that, but it's a really good idea."
Thanks for the tip.
We got people on it right away. Thanks.
Thanks for the tip. Oh my goodness. Anyway, turning to something a little more lighthearted. I don't know, when is the last Colbert show? Is that this week or next week? It's coming up.
It's I think it's the 27th.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So in honor of that, Jimmy Kimmel, the tweet says, Jimmy Kimmel confirms his show will go dark on the night of Stephen Colbert's finale. And I'm thinking, oh, Jimmy, not blackface again. Don't do it. But remember when late night show hosts were actually competitors?
Well,
they're not. They're all the same. They all did the same joke with Trump holding the Uno cards. The exact same joke. They're not competitors anymore. They're just an amalgam.
Well, that would happen. That would happen a lot. Is because back in the day, the late night shows would they would have comedians fax them pages of jokes, and they would go through rather than writing, they would and if they used one of them, they'd give you $50 for it. So I knew a lot of guys that were doing that, and a lot of them said, why wait until Leno turns it down before faxing it over to Letterman, because the joke might be dated by then. So what they would do is they would fax the jokes to both of them, and occasionally you would hit, because I was doing an article for Breitbart.com as a running column where I was reviewing the late night shows, and I would catch it several times that both hosts would do the exact same joke. So
now, did the guy get paid twice, or
probably? So
this one joke that I was referring to before about the Uno cards, I mean, I think it was done by the three guys,
all of them, all
plus
five.
Seth Meyers. That it was like four. It's like four of a kind, right
Yeah.
there. It was pretty good.
And on Gutfeld, they pointed out that actually if you have all wild cards,
right,
you do win, because you are 5 plays from winning. So
I love when we dig in and we render the joke meaningless.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing in Kimmel's defense.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone's going to be watching Kimmel that night? Do you think anybody cares what Kimmel has to say that night? No, they're all going to be watching. Everybody on of that slant who loves an hour of Trump jokes.
Be careful. We just had the Xi jokes in the first segment. just be careful, man. Okay. And Kimmel was going blackface on us. No, I understand.
Nobody's going to be watching anyway. Everybody's going to be watching. Oh, what's he going to do? What's he going to? Is he going to cry? Oh, I'll bet he's going to cry.
I would hope, a la Johnny Carson, he had Bette Midler on his last show, and I think she's probably sympathetic. Yeah, she's a little bit older, and this is 34 years later, so it might be a little bit more difficult for her to hoist herself on the desk. But maybe they could. Give her some kind of contraption that raises her.
Are you going to watch his? You going to watch his last show? Are we going to cover his last show? Are we going to talk about his last show on the weekly wrap?
No, I mean we can.
Well, we already did. We already did. So does it really?
Yeah, I mean, but if you want to, we can. What's with this Ron DeSantis guy? He's like the biggest sports fan in the world. It's if you just saw a tweet here and there was this whole thing. The all-time top 10 first baseman. Somebody had tweeted out. They have Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, Pujols, Hank Greenberg, number of others. And DeSantis goes missing the big hurt, Frank Thomas of the White Sox. It's going like,
wow,
who the heck is this? Who does this guy think he is? The Pope? Because the Pope would know about the big hurt. But yeah. Huh. I don't know what DeSantis is. He running for something? Because he's trying to make himself out to be this Renaissance man, and he's doing a good job of it. I mean,
by the way, Frank Thomas, best DH. He played first base for what? Maybe a third of the time.
A couple of years.
Yeah,
he wasn't that great.
No, defensively, no.
Yeah, but in any event, then our friend Rob Hart tweeted out about how the first episode of the Beverly Hillbillies after the assassination of JFK, some of the highest rated regular episodes of any show in TV history were the Beverly Hillbillies in the weeks after the Kennedy assassination. And I could see it because the nation was looking for togetherness, exemplified by the Clampetts sharing a meal with the help of pot passers and a little possum stew. But isn't that something that our nation's lonely eyes turned to Granny and Ellie Mae at the cement pond? It's interesting cultural phenomenon. We could leave it right there if you want. But,
I don't know what else to say about that.
Right, it renders you speechless.
With Beverly Hillbillies and Andy Griffith's show on the same night, because I could see
no.
I
mean, gee whiz, you think you know something about? I don't even know you, Tim Slagle. Andy Griffith was on Monday nights. Beverly Hillbillies were on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And
well, how did well? I mean, it was after you said the weeks after. So how did Andy Griffith do in the weeks following the Kennedy assassination?
I'm sure he did just fine as well. Yeah,
because Andy Griffith. I mean, well, you want to talk about a warm, fuzzy place,
right? The sheriff with no gun.
Yeah, and where civil rights were never needed because.
Oh yeah.
There weren't any.
Although I think there was one right after the assassination where Otis was so despondent that he wouldn't even go into the jail cell. They had to kind of like haul him in so he could feel more at home. But then Aunt B made a nice pie, and they all felt a lot better about the assassination.
As long as it isn't her pickles. Nobody likes Aunt B's pickles.
Is that a true story?
Well,
was there an episode?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Aunt B makes the worst pickles in the world.
So we've got to close with Sydney Sweeney, who we've referenced already a couple of times.
Helen of Troy.
There's this little tweet from Variety. Somebody was saying that Sydney Sweeney was unfair to sex workers. In that show, what is it called? Euphoria, I guess. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Where they promoted the stereotype that sex workers have no moral compass. And I got to think that the whole point of the sex workers is to make men's compasses point true north. But what?
Well, actually, it was from what I saw, it was the actual OnlyFans employees, I don't know what else to call them, didn't think it was realistic. Which, yeah, and Robert Redford did not really. No ball player ever knocked out the lights and turned them into fireworks. So I mean, it's everything that's portrayed on television isn't realistic. So, but for some reason, the OnlyFans models.
Kyle Schwarber once, I believe, hit the Budweiser sign at Wrigley Field. Am I right about that, Chris? I may be.
Yes.
Yeah, hit the Budweiser.
I was distracted by something.
Did it blow up?
Did it? Sydney Sweeney.
Did it blow up? Did it explode? Did it in fireworks as he rounded the bases?
Okay, we understand that they Hollywooded it up. It's not the Malamud novel. Okay, get it.
And the thing is too, anyone who looks like Sydney Sweeney doesn't have to do OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You're not going to find Sydney Sweeney looking like
women. Not that I've gotten into this at all, but are they a little long in the tooth? I mean, not Jane Fonda with the Ted Turner embalming fluid long in the tooth, but they're just a little bit long in the tooth, and
yeah,
they're kind of like used cars or something. Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're not quite.
I don't know about that, Tim.
What?
I don't know about that. There's some broke hot chicks that are on there.
Are there?
Yeah.
I would not know. I've never been there.
And then some Hollywood stars who have, kind of gone to the unemployed line end up there.
Hey, I got an idea. Audrey Hepburn, AI version, Helen of Troy. Okay, there we go. Caster, Christopher Nolan, Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle on the Weekly Wrap.
And that's the Weekly Wrap on radio and television. Follow Bruce at Bruce Wolf Shy on Twitter and Tim at timslagle.com. The Weekly Wrap with Bruce Wolf, a CP Pods production.